Yes, welcome students, welcome to the next session of structural engineering design and detailing. In the previous session, we were looking what is the importance of the plate girder, what is plate girder. As I had told you, plate girder is a steel structure which connects two bridges. It is a very important structure over which railway lines flow and even highways also sometimes are connected to plate girder. So basically plate girder is a structural steel members made up of structural steel members. The cross section will be seen as a I section. So till now we had seen what were the typical components of the plate girder. In the previous session we had started a class in which I had explained you all how to do this, how to calculate the plate girder or how to design a plate girder. Here let us just see a recap. In the previous session we had stopped 4 to 5 steps we had done. We'll just see a recap. As you remember, in the first step what we'll have to see is what is the span of the plate girder. You can see is simply separated welded. This is a welded plate girder. You have to see, you have to be very clear here, because sometimes he can give you bolted plate girder also. The design for bolted plate girder at the last, at the connection, it will be a little bit different. For welded it is different. You can see a welded plate girder that is 30 meters in span. So span he has given it as 30 meters, laterally restrained throughout. It has a support, it has to support UDL of 100 kilonewton per meter. As I had told you, normally the load which comes onto the plate girder is a uniformly distributed load that is of 100 kilonewton meters he has given. But sometimes what happens, some point loads also act onto this plate girder. We'll have to take into consideration those point loads also while calculating the total load. So here he has given it as UDL of 100 kilonewton per meter. The span is exclusive of self weight, so self weight has not been added here. We'll have to assume the self weight also here, and he has given use Fe 410 in E250, that this is ultimate stress, this is yield stress. Use limit state design. So in the step 1, first what we'll do, what are the data he has given, we'll take that data, and the UDL is 100 kilonewton per meter. Self weight has not been given, so we'll assume the self weight as 150 kilonewtons. But for the whole length of span of 30 meter, what will be the self weight for unit length, we'll see. So 150 by 30 you can do and you'll get some value. You add that UDL plus that value, whatever you are getting from the self weight, you add that, you factor it, we'll get the total load. Now that was the step 1, hope you remember. Now the step 2 what we had done is we had seen what is the maximum bending moment. So the maximum bending moment for a uniformly distributed load, it is WL square by 8. W was the total load what we had got, and L is the span of 30 meters. We had substituted those values, we got some MU, ultimate moment we had got, MU we had got. Then we had seen what is maximum shear force, VU also, that is WL by 2. W, as I told you, that was the total load which we had calculated, and L is the 30, WL by 2. So second step was also over. Then the third step what we did was, we had to find out design of web. We had to design the web. What should be the size of the web, what should be the depth of the web, and what should be the thickness of the web. That had to be designed. Depending on these loads which are acting onto the plate girder, what should be the size of the web, that has to be determined. So that we had determined in the step 3. It was given by the formula D is equal to, you can see here, MU into K by Fy to the power of 0.33. As I had told you, K is a constant value. You will have to assume it as, either it is upon you to select it, 100 or 150 or 180 or anything, because later on sometimes if the web fails, we will have to change the value of K. So anyway, I had assumed it as 150 there. So the depth of this web also I had got it somewhere. I had calculated it around 2036 was the 2036 was the depth of the plate girder. Then next we had found out the thickness of the plate girder web also. The depth of the web was 2036. Thickness of the web was TW is equal to MU by Fy into K square to the power of 0.33. We got the thickness of the web, and somewhere we got it as 16 mm or somewhere. So there we had designed or got the size of the web also, 2036 by 16. We have got the size of the web as, this is the size of the web, we had got it as 2036, and this was 16 what we had got, 16 mm. This is the thickness, this part is the thickness part, and this is the depth. So we had got this. Next what we had done is we had to design the flange also. For designing of the flange, the breadth of the flange has been given by the formula 1/3 of depth of the web, 1/3 of depth of the web, and we had calculated, we had substituted the value of depth of the web and multiplied it into 1/3 of, so we got it around 672 or something. Then next what we had done is we had calculated the area of the flange. Area of the flange has been given by the formula. Area of the flange is given mu by Fy into minus of AW by 6. It has been given like that. Mu by Fy into dW minus AW by 6 will get the area of the flange. So what is area? Area of the flange is thickness of flange into breadth of the flange. See, breadth of the flange had been calculated earlier, and the area of the flange also we had got. We'll just substitute the values of area of the flange and breadth of the flange. We'll get the thickness of the flange also. And as I can remember, we had got the thickness of the flange as 44 mm. So the size of the flange also we had got. You can just see here. It was 672 mm and this was 44 mm. As I had told you, the 44 mm thick plate is very thick and it can't be welded easily. So it is not practically feasible to weld this type of plate. So in those conditions, what do? Is we divide this plate into number of plates. So what I had done is, we are just changing this plate into, we'll be providing one plate of 14 mm and 3 plates of 10 mm. 3 plates of 10 mm. So it is 44 mm only. We are just dividing that 44 mm plate into number of plates so that it should be easy to weld. It will be easy to weld. So till here we had calculated the size of the design of the web and design of the flange as well. Next, now we'll have to check for the whether this web and this flange is safe in shear and safe in flexure also. And next step what we had done is we had checked for low shear or high shear. In page 53 a clause comes in which it says VU, the designed the shear force, maximum shear force what we had calculated, ultimate shear force, that should be less than or equal to the 0.6 times of design shear. This should be less. Maximum shear force VU should be less than. VU should be less than or equal to 0.6 times of VD. In page 59 it has been mentioned clearly what is VD. It has been given here, design shear strength VD is equal to Vn and Vn is equal to Vp, and Vp is given by AW, a clause has been given and you can calculate it there. FYW into AW by a formula has been given there. You can just calculate that value of VD, and after substituting you must have got some value which was this value was less. Anyway, VU was less, so therefore it was safe in shear. We'll have to see the value of VU what we get from the maximum shear force. That should be lesser than the design shear. This should be lesser. Okay, fine. Till here it was okay. Now for the next step we'll see the step 6. Basically this is the step 6 here. We'll see what is it safe in flexure also. We had seen it is safe in shear. Now we'll see whether it is safe in flexure also. And next we'll have to see what is the curtailment of flange plate. Then we'll have to see the connection between flange plates and web. And next we'll do. Let us see now in step 6. Check for flexure here. This is the step 6. For check for flexure also you have to see what is in the page 53, moment capacity MD. I'll just you can just open the code book, IS 800 of 2007 code book. As I had mentioned you all, we need this code book again and again. All these formulas and clauses have been given here. See, it is given here MD, moment capacity. Moment capacity MD is equal to BB into ZP into Fy by gamma M0. You can see here now what it is given in the further. BB is equal to 1 for plastic and compact sections. It has been given here BB is equal to 1 for plastic and compact sections. So this is BB, it has been given here in the clause itself. Next you can see what is ZP. ZP is the plastic modulus, we'll have to find out. Now what is ZP? It is the plastic modulus and it has been given by ZP is equal to area of the flange into CG of flange plus area of web into CG of web into 2. Because we will be seeing the CG as it is a symmetric section, we will be seeing the CG from the center of the I section. So we will be multiplying it into 2. Fy is the yield stress, that is 250, and gamma m0, again I have told you it is in page 30, gamma m0, that will be taken as 1.1. Gamma m0, you can see there, gamma m0 will be taken as 1.1. Okay, fine. It is hope it is clear till here how we have calculated all this. I'll just substitute, we'll substitute these values here and we'll see what we are doing. First what we'll do, we'll first find out ZP, what is the plastic modulus, then we can substitute. We know Fy value, we know gamma m0, we know BB. We'll have to find out ZP, what is this? We'll just find out this first. You can see here, till here it is over. Now we'll be seeing what is the first, as we know BB value is 1 and Fy is 250, gamma f0 is 1.1. We'll see what is plastic modulus here. Just to find out this plastic modulus, we'll have to write all the dimensions of the I section. We need all the dimensions of the I section. This is 44 mm, this is 672 mm, and this value is 2036. This thickness is 16, this again is 44 mm. So 672 mm flange breadth, thickness of flange 44, 2036 is depth of web, thickness of web is 16, same thing I have written here, 672 and 44. 672 and 44. Okay, now we'll have to find out what will the CG, the CG will act at the center. We'll see. Now what we'll have to see is, as I had told you, the plastic modulus is the area of flange into CG of flange plus area of web into CG of web, and whole this should be multiplied into 2. Okay, let's find out the area of the flange. It is very simple. 672 into 44 is the area of the flange. Area 672 into 44. Okay, now CG of the flange. What we'll have to find out the CG is from this center. From this center to center of this flange, we need this value from here to here. This value. Now how we can calculate this? First we'll have to find out the CG of this 2036 by 2. Okay, 2036 by 2 plus 44 by 2. Okay, hope this is fine here. 2036 by 2 plus 44 by 2. Okay, plus area of web, we will see area of web is 2036 into 16. 2036 into 16. Okay, into CG, that is half of 2036, the half of 2036 is around, we'll just see here, 2036 divided by 2, we are getting 1018. 1018 by 2 it will be, 1018 by 2. Okay, now this whole should be multiplied into 2 times. You can calculate this value here, 672 into 44 into 2036 by 2. See, this step is very important. I request all of you all to be clear here again. The area of flange, it is very simple. Area is 672 into 44. We have got the area of flange. Next, what we are finding out? CG of flange. See the CG of flange, this part only. This is CG of the flange will act at the center, but we'll have to see from the center of the section. As the section is symmetric, we'll have to see from the center of the section from here to here. So from here, that is 2036. The half part, this half part will be 2036 by 2, that is 1018. 1018, that is what I have written here. 2036 by 2 plus 44 by 2. You will get, I have put those values here. Next, what I have done, plus area of web. Area of web is, this is 2036 into 16, okay, into 1018 by 2 into 2 times. You can just calculate this value and you will get some value here. After calculating this, I have got this value as 78.08 into 10 to the power of 6. 78.08 into 10 to the power of 6 mm cube. Okay. 78.08 into 10 to the power of 6. You can please check it. No problem. You can check that value here. I'll just substitute these values here. MD is equal to BB into ZP into Fy by gamma M0. Hope this is the, yes, BB into ZP into Fy by gamma M0. I'll just substitute these values here. BB is 1 as I had told you, and this I got it as 78.08 into 10 to the power of 6 into 250 by gamma M0 is 1.1. We'll get some value here. You can calculate that value. You will get something as, you just calculate this value here, 78.08 into 10 to the power of 6 into 250 divided by 1.1. I got this value as 17.74 into 10 to the power of 9, that is 1774.5 kilonewton meter. I got it as 17.74 17.745 into 10 to the power of 9. I'll just convert it into kilonewton meter. So MD in kilonewton meter, I'll have to remove 6 of this. So it will be 1774. So I've got it as 17745.5. It is around 0.5 kilonewton meter. Now this design moment should be greater than the moment what we had got, the ultimate moment what we had got there. So this design moment and that moment, as far as I remember, it was 17718 or something. 17718.5. This was mu here. So basically this value what I have got, this is greater than this value, therefore it is safe in flexure also. It is safe in flexure also. If at any point this fails in flexure, you will have to change the size of the flange rather than changing the size of the web. If it fails in shear, you will have to change the size of the web, and if it fails in flange, in flexure, you will have to change the size of the flange. Hope this is clear till now. It is very simple. This has been given in page 53. This is given in page 53. All this has been given in page 53. The design moment is equal to BB into ZP into Fy by gamma M0. We have got these values. We have just calculated the ZP plastic modulus. I've just area of flange into CG of flange. We have done all this. We have got this value 78.08 into 10 to the power of 6. I've substituted those values here. I got that as 17.74 into 10 to the power of 9. I've converted into kilonewton meter. I've got it as 17745.5 kilonewton meter. And MU, which we had designed in the starting, we had got it as 17718.5. So anyway, this is safe in flexure also. By any chance, if it fails in flexure, we'll have to change the size of the flange. Anyway, we'll just see the next step, curtailment of flange plates. We'll see the next step, curtailment of flange plates. So this design moment, what we had got, 17,745.5 kilonewton meter. This is greater than the ultimate moment what we had calculated. So MD 17745.5 is greater than 17718.5. So this is safe. It is safe in flexure also. Okay, fine. It is safe in flexure. Next step, let us see the next step. That will be the curtailment of the flange plates. That is the step 7. What we'll have to see here, curtailment of the flange plates. I had, as I had told you, this concept of curtailment. What is curtailment? What does that mean? You must have seen in many heavy vehicles, you must have seen some plates being provided at the bottom to resist shocks that are called as shock absorbers. You must have seen some plates which are bended and they are placed one after the other, and they are fixed to each other. Just see this, step 7. As I had told you, curtailment, what is curtailment? I'll just give you a simple example again so that it is clear to you all. If this is the simply supported beam and the load acting is a UDL of W kilonewton per meter, and this is L, the maximum bending moment what we get is, it will be at the center, this part, that will be WL square by 8. As I had told you, see the maximum bending moment we are getting at the center, but that bending moment is not maximum at the corner. As it is coming down, it is decreasing. It is decreasing. Here the maximum bending moment is little bit less, and here it is again decreasing. Here it is decreasing. The same way, now what we are designing a plate according to this moment. According to this moment. See, in steel structures, we try as much as possible to reduce the size of the plate, so that practically it will be very easy to weld as well. Even the load also can be reduced. So what we do is, as we had reduced the number of plates, if you remember, we had provided one plate of 14 mm and the next 3 plates of 10 mm. So what we will do in the next 3 plates, as we are not getting high bending moment at the corners, we will try to cut those plates at the corner. The same way, you can just see here, if this is your plate, if one plate is the biggest plate which will resist the maximum bending moment, and the next plate can be cut and the other plate can be cut again depending on these sizes. So at the center it is maximum, no problem, but at the corners it is decreasing. At the corners it is decreasing. You can see here, it is not needed, this size of plate is not needed till the corner. It is needed only till here at the center, and that center we are getting that plate of this size. At the corner we can just cut these plates. That is called as curtailment, and it has been given by the formula. Hope this is clear. Hope you have understood what do you mean by curtailment. Okay, fine, we'll just see this. If one plate of 14 mm has been provided, and the lowest part will be 2x1, this will be called as 2x1, this is 2x2, and this is 2x3. We'll have to find out how much size of the plate should be cut and how much should be left. That is given by the equation. 2x1 is equal to L into A1 net by AF net plus AW by 8. A1 net by AF net plus AW by 8. This is the 2x1. So basically to find out this size 2x1, we'll have to use this formula, L into root of A1 net by AF net plus AW by 8. L is the span, that is we have got it as 30. We'll convert it into 30 meter. In mm I have converted. You can see A1 net. Now what is A1 net? You have to understand this concept. It is very easy. It is not that tough. Basically A1 net is that plate which is provided here at the last here. Either X1. This is the 14 mm plate. Because the 14 mm plate is the thickest, we will provide it at the bottom. And the next three are 10 mm plates. 10 mm plates. You can just see here. This is 14, this is 10, this is 10, this is 10. Okay, at 2x1 we are A1 net is what is area of that plate, area of that plate. So this size is 672. So area of that plate will be 672 into 10, that will be 6720 mm. So this is A1 net. Same way if you want the further you can see A1 net is 672 into this thickness, that is 10. Now what is AF net? AF net is the total thickness of the flange, total area of the flange, that is 672 into 44 total. 672 into 44, total size of the flange 672 into 44. I have just written this flange as 672 and this is the thickness of 44. 672 into 44, if you calculate, you will get the value. You can just see it here, 672 into 44. 672 into 44, you are getting it as 29568 mm square. Okay, we have got A1 net, we have got AF net. We will see what is area of web. AW is area of web, that is 2036 into 16 divided by 8, AW by 8. We will get the values, you can calculate it, 2036 into 16 divided by 8. We are getting it as 4072. I'll just put all these values and we'll get what is 2x1. So 2x1 is equal to 30 into 10 cube. Okay? Into root of A1 net. You can see here A1 net value 6720. A1 net 6720 divided by AF net. AF net we are getting as a 29568. AF net 29568 plus AW by 8. AW by 8 we had calculated 4072. Now this 2x1 value, if you calculate, you will get that value of 2x1 as, you can just check it here, 2x1 value, you just calculate it, 13.4. Okay, I'll just I got it as 13.4 meters. I got it in meters, so it is 14 meters. So this plate will be it will be only from the center 7 meters this side. It will come 7 meters this side and 7 meters that side. It is only of a 14 meters. You can just imagine such a thick plate. It has been reduced. It has been reduced to such a big size, such a small size. It has been cut here. So it is 14 meters. We'll just see what is 2x2 also. The same way you can just understand here. 2x1 was L into A1 net by AF net plus AW by 8, and we have substituted all these values. We got the value of 2x1 as 14 meters. Same way we'll see 2x2. It is very simple. You don't need to change many things here. 2x2 will be A1 net plus A2 net. A2 net. Now A1 net value we have, AF net, AW. What is A2 net? The same second. We are seeing 2x2. we are seeing what is size of this plate. It is 672 into 10. So A2 net will also be 672 into 10. A2 net. 6720 mm. Okay, same way we'll substitute all these values. So we'll get the value of 2x2 also. I'll just directly write the value of 2x2 also. 2x2 value after calculating 19 meters. I got it as 19 meters. Okay, fine. Same, I've not done anything here. I've just added A1 net plus A2 net, and A2 net is the size of that plate what we had taken, that is 10 mm and 672 into 10 mm. Same way we'll have to find out A2x3 also. 2x3 also. And that also is the same. We'll just have to add A3 net here. And that is also, A3 net is also size of the third plate. Size of the third plate is also 10 mm like this, and this is 672. The same way A3 net will also be 6720 again. After calculating, I'll directly write the value of 2x3 also. What is the value you are getting, 2x3? 24. So these are the three values what we have got. After curtailment, we have got the values of 2x1 as 14 and 2x2 as 19 and 2x3 as 24 meter. You can just imagine these plates have been cut in such a good, in such a way where the maximum bending moment is also being resisted, and at the corners, as the bending moment is not that maximum, we have curtailed these plates. So this was the step 7 what we have completed. In the step 8, we'll see, we'll connect both the flange plates. The connection between the flange plates and the web will be seen here in the next step. We'll see it here in the next step. So we'll see connection of flange and web here. See the next step here. We'll see the design of connection between flange and web here now. We still have only 2 steps left more, and with these 2 steps we can complete the problem. You all can be patient as this problem carries 15 marks. It is very important. Let's see step 8. We'll have to see the design of connection between flange and web. Now the design of connection between flange and web, it has been given by the formula. You can just, you have to remember this. Q is equal to shear force. You just remember this formula. It is very easy, not that tough. Shear force by I into B. Shear force by I is shear force is the VU which we had calculated in the starting, and I is the moment of inertia. B is 1 mm width we will be taking here for the connection. How it should get connected, that will be 1 mm, and A is the area of the web here, and Y is the closest distance from the centroidal axis. The closest distance from the centroidal axis. We'll just check all these values here. You can just see it here, shear force by IB, you can just check that here, IB into A. So we'll have to calculate the moment of inertia. We'll just calculate it. This is 672. This is 44. This is 2036. You will need the values till the end. You will need all the values. Okay. Now we'll find out first the moment of inertia. We'll find out we'll have to find out like BD cube by 12 minus small BD cube by 12. We'll have to find out this. You can just see the capital BD can be taken as like this. The whole capital B. You can take it as B is equal to 672. And D, will calculate the D here. Capital B is BD cube by 12. As you know, the moment of inertia for a rectangular section is BD cube by 12. We'll just substitute those values here. B is the capital B is this B 672, and D cube you will have to calculate 44 23C6. Again you have 44 also here. You have to just total this 44 plus 2036 and 44 672 into this you calculate, you just sum this up, 2036 plus 44 plus 44. You are getting it as somewhere around 2124. You just substitute these values here. 672 into 2124. Minus of, now B value, what will be B, we'll have to see that here, as we are finding out the moment of inertia of this I section. Now B is this, you can see 672 minus 16, it should be taken as 672 minus 16. And D will be 2036 cube by 12. You just calculate this, you will get a value of around, you just calculate it. You can see here, you calculate it. Hope you all are calculating, you see here. And so this value after calculating, I am getting it as 0.76 into 10 to the power of 11. So this is the I value, shear force value VU I know, I value I have calculated, B is 1 mm. A is area of the flange, and what is the Y bar, what I'll get it. We'll have to calculate the Y bar from this place, that is from the centroidal axis. From the centroidal axis, that is 2036 by 2 from between the 44. I'll just write the value of A also, that is area of flange, 672 into 44. 672 into 44, we are getting it as 29568. And Y bar is 2036 by 2 plus 44 by 2. I'll get this value somewhere around. Hope you all are calculating it. Hope you all calculate 1020. I'm getting it as Y bar somewhere I'm getting at 1020, 1040. Anyway, I'll just substitute all these values and we'll get the value of Q. We'll get the value of Q here, and the maximum VU what we had calculated, we got it as 2362.5. I'll just substitute all these values here. (2362.5) into 10 cube, it is in kilonewton. I'm just converting it into Newton. I had got it as 0.76 into 10 to the power of 11, 0.76 into 10 to the power of 11, and then the value of B as 1. Area into area of flange, I have got it as 29568. 29568 into Y bar is 1044. I am getting it as. After calculating this, you can just calculate this, you will get the value. You just calculate this, 2362.5 into 10 cube into 29568. I am getting this value as 955.9 Newton per mm square. 955.9 Newton per mm square. So this is the shear strength what I have got here. Now depending on this shear strength, I will have to go for design of weld. Hope this is clear here. It was simple. You can just see here. This is the VU what we had calculated in the first step, maximum shear force, that I have substituted here, 2362.5 into 10 cube. I have converted into Newton. I is the moment of inertia which we have calculated from the figure you had seen there. and B is 1 mm. We'll be seeing for 1 mm. A is the area of the flange, 672 into 44, and Y bar is from the centroidal axis till the last distance, that is 2036 by 2 plus 44 by 2. That I had got it as 1040 something here. I've just substituted that value here. After getting calculation of this, I've got this value of 955.9 Newton per mm square. Now next day we have only to design the weld. That will be the last step. We'll do it now. We'll do the last step. It is clear, I hope. Let's see the last step, design of weld. We can complete this problem here. This is the last step. We have got the shear strength also between the connection. We'll just have to design the weld. Now this design of weld, till here hope it is clear for you all. Now here to design of the weld, we'll have to see what is the strength of the weld. Strength of the weld. Hope you all have seen this in the previous, in your last year's class of steel structures. All this was there. Design of weld FWD is equal to FWN by gamma FWD. Gamma MW. Now what is FWN? It has been given by FU by root 3. FWN is equal to FU by root 3. FU is the ultimate stress, that is 410. We know FU is equal to 410 Newton per mm square. Okay, we'll just substitute these values here. You can see at the, you can just change it. You can see here, after changing it, you will get it. You can just, strength of the weld, FWD is equal to FWN by gamma MW. FU is 410 Newton per mm square. We'll just substitute these values here and we'll get it. But the strength of the weld per mm is, strength of the weld, strength of the weld per mm is given by Q is equal to FU by root 3 into, see here Q we had found out from the previous step, FU by root 3 into gamma MW, T into 1. Okay, this 3 is the throat thickness here, T. Okay, it is moving. FU by root 3 into gamma MW by throat thickness. Gamma MW is 1.5 for shop weld. Gamma MW is 1.5 for shop weld. We'll be assuming it is shop weld for 1.5 for shop weld. In the page 30 you can see 1.5 for shop weld. I'll just substitute these values here. Q value, FU and gamma MW. We'll get the value of T here. Now Q value was 955.9. Q, I'll just substitute, I'll just see this, FU by root 3 into gamma MW, T into 1. I'll just substitute these values here, 955.9, it is in Newton. Okay, FU is 410 and this is root 3. This is 1.5 into T into 1. You just substitute these values, you'll get the value of T. You will get the value of T and getting it as 6.05 mm. So this is a throat thickness, but still we have one more sequence left there. Throat thickness is T is equal to 0.7 S. Throat thickness T is equal to 0.7 S. Okay, we want to know the value of S here. So S is equal to T by 0.7. So that is 6.05. We had got it as by 0.7. So this value I am getting it as size of the weld. S is size of the weld. That is I am getting it as around 9 mm. I am getting it as around 9 mm. Okay. Now here we have completed this problem here. This problem has been completed. Hope I request all of you all to please go through all the steps. It has been, because it is a lengthy problem, I had to finish it in parts. If you see part by part, it will be very clear for you all. This is 15 minutes problem. It is very important. If you understand this problem, in the next problem also it will be very easy, because there are some other loads and some other changes also coming in it. I request all of you all to please follow all the steps and comment in the comment section if you have any questions. I'll try my best to answer all the questions. Thanks a lot for this session.